Mami, ¿qué más? Hay algo en ti que me tiene mal. Una belleza que me quema. Cuando vaya, la nota me estalla. Mami, ¿qué más? Hay algo en ti que me tiene mal. Sé que anda puesta para el problema. Dale, guaya, que yo te doy falla, falla. Deja que los cuerpos hablen. No hace falta más. Sí, ya muy bien tú sabes.
A couple months ago, I had the pleasure of traveling to the Dominican Republic with Kira's family on a 10-day holiday. I decided to bring with me my FujiFilm X-H2S and X-PRO3 as I knew these would be the perfect cameras to document the trip on both photo and video. I couldn't be happier with the results and I can't wait to share them with you in today's video. In terms of lenses, I decided to bring with me my 18mm and 33mm 1.4 LM weather resistant lenses, along with the 23mm and 50mm f2 weather resistant compact primes. The compact primes were perfect for those days when we did travel outside of the resort and kept my X-PRO3 nice and lightweight and easy to travel with, and the 18 and 33mm were perfect pairings with my X-H2S for both video and photos that I captured on that camera. The first day of the holiday that I fully committed to taking photos was our island excursion, where I opted to take with me my FujiFilm X-PRO3 along with the 23mm f2 weather resistant lens to create a nice small and lightweight package that could easily fit into my weather resistant bag. This was the perfect choice as I knew I didn't want to lug around multiple lenses, and the fact that we were getting on and off of boats meant that I needed everything to fit into my small weather seal bag just in case the worst happened. The island trip was one of my favourite moments of the whole holiday, and subsequently also was where I captured some of my favourite photos as well. And for this reason, I've decided to dedicate a whole single video to the island excursion, where I will talk through some of the moments of photos that I captured, as well as showcase some behind the scenes on the island taking pictures with the X-PRO3. You can check out that video in a week's time if you're watching this video as soon as it's been posted, or if you're from the future, then that video should already be available and it'll be linked in the description or in the card in the corner. The photo on screen in particular I couldn't not stop and talk about, as it's one of my favourite non-portrait images from the entire trip. The amount happening in this photo adds a lot of interest to the viewer's eye and keeps you lingering on it longer, trying to put together all the pieces. I'll be honest, at the time I don't remember noticing everything happening. It was more of a happy accident that all these moments aligned to create this picture. I'm particularly a fan of the composition, with the foreground, middle ground and background each having their own unique elements, and with the railings of the boat framing the main subjects of the image within their own frame. So, day one of our photo afternoon, Kira and I decided to take a walk around the whole resort, scouting out all the best locations to take photos and videos for the portrait shoot that we knew we wanted to do on another afternoon of the holiday. We started at the front of the resort, where Kira wanted to use my X-PRO3 to capture some shots of her own, and the Jeep at the beginning of the video was actually captured by Kira, along with these photos of the workers rebuilding the roof. I have to say I was very impressed and loved these photos she captured using the 15mm. Being a 75mm full frame equivalent, you get really nice compression and a good reach when subjects are slightly further away, as seen here, and Kira's eye for detail in capturing this fleeting moment was really cool. Making our way inside, we headed to the main bar and central complex of the resort, which quickly became mine and Kira's favourite to capture photos and video in, and you'll see why with the main standout piece shortly. In particular, I love this still life frame Kira captured. The leading lines of the chairs and the symmetry lead your eyes straight to the worker in the middle of the frame, whose blue top and cloth really popped from the white surroundings. The colours came out fantastic on not just this image, but the entire images from this trip, and I couldn't be happier with the Fujifilm cameras and the quality and colors that they produce, along with the video that the X-H2S produces as well. I'm really pleased that I managed to match it on both the photo and video side.
No tenemos que sentir, solamente cuando estemos ahí, en estado físico.
Undoubtedly, the main standout area of the resort, and mine and Kira's favourite place to take portrait photos, was this stage area set outside in the main lobby with a lot of luscious greenery surrounding it and these absolutely stunning red flowers that grew up and over the pergola. This quickly became our favourite location to take portrait photos, not just on the cameras, but we also found ourselves coming back with our phones daily when wearing new outfits to just take different photos in this area, as the light and the location was absolutely stunning. I love how Kira's red dress perfectly complemented the red flowers growing up the pergola, and I loved how it really popped in the image and separated her from the background with those luscious greens and the white flooring in the white pergola. It really stood out, I feel like, in these images, and I absolutely love the way that the Fujifilm camera renders the reds in both the photo and the video. We then decided to face the other direction towards the bar, and this became my favourite non-portrait photo of the entire trip, along with that one I showed you earlier on the boat. The range and depth of colours, along with the different interesting items within the image and the way the light falls off the chairs, creates for me a perfect atmosphere, and I am always transported back to this moment every time I look at this photo. Immediately after taking this photo, Kira and I knew we needed to check the back of the camera. With the Fujifilm simulations, we were absolutely hyped and super inspired by the way it turned out, and knew that we needed to take some portraits facing this direction, and these photos of Kira are some of my favourites of the entire trip. Everything about these photos I absolutely love, and the 18mm 1.4 just didn't miss. After viewing these images on the back of the camera, I immediately knew I had made the right choice in picking the Fujifilm cameras for my travel photography and videos going forward. Kira and I decided to spend a little while longer here before continuing to explore all the various beauty spots the resort had to offer. I'm going to let these clips play out so you can soak in the atmosphere, and then I'll be back to talk more about the photos on day 2. Before we show day 2's outings, I just wanted to quickly mention and show some night photos that we did try taking whilst on this trip. Before heading on the holiday, I decided to buy myself the Godox Lux Junior on camera flash, as I knew that I'd want to take maybe some nighttime photos, as well as just having it on camera flash for my Fuji cameras for the future going forward. I think the long days and the intense heat got to Kira and me, and by the time it got to the evening, we definitely just wanted food and to go back to the room and relax. But we did try to give the Godox a go, and we ended up with some of these images you can see here. They weren't bad for a first attempt, but I definitely wasn't really trying my hardest, and these are actually the only images we captured in the nighttime. But we're definitely going to try back here to take some nighttime photos, and I'll hopefully be making a video on that flash for you all to see. Sadly, day 2 of taking pictures around the resort got cut short due to the weather not being on our side. With intermittent showers and a storm rolling in, we really didn't have the best weather to take portraits. However, this didn't stop Kira and I, and we decided to head down to the beach, and the atmosphere of the clouds and the tide made for some great footage of the beach and the holiday makers, as well as these couple of portraits of Kira that I took. Day 3, we decided to dedicate solely to taking portraits at the locations we had previously scouted, and Kira put together this absolutely fantastic outfit for me to capture. On this day, I also decided to attach my Osmo Pocket 3 to my chest so I could capture some POV of me taking the portraits of Kira. Like with the island shoot, there are so many photos from this that I absolutely love and too many to put into one video. So along with the POV, I've decided to create a complete video dedicated to that POV photography experience, and I'll be sharing that on my channel very soon. Now is a great time to mention, if you are enjoying my video and photography content, I would greatly appreciate if you could leave a like on this video and subscribe so you don't miss out on the upcoming Fujifilm content from this trip, as well as more amazing video and photo content coming very soon. Be sure to let me know your favorite photo from this video, as well as your favorite travel setup in the comment section below. Kira and I spent a good amount of time in this area amongst some of the accommodations, as I really loved this leading line of the path, the symmetry created by the buildings, and the light hitting the spot. You can see my full process of capturing these in the POV video. We then headed back to our all-time favourite spot, the main centre hub with the flowers. In hindsight, I wish I had taken more video in this location. However, I do remember that the heat was extremely hot that day, and Kira had already been so kind to let me take this many photos of her on holiday. This moment ultimately led to my #1 favourite photo of the entire trip, and possibly favourite travel portrait to date for me with this image of Kira. You can see the moment of setup to capturing this image and the images after, as we spent a reasonable amount of time here in my POV video. We then headed back to the front of the resort the same as we did on the first day, and decided to take some final portrait photos along this really cool road that leads out of the resort. You can see all of these results in my POV video linked below. This does lead me to a great point though, as I can see it in this clip, and that is about the problems that have arisen with the Fuji X-H2S autofocus from the latest firmware. Now, at the beginning of the trip, I'm pretty sure I had my camera on the older firmware. However, midway through, I realized that the new firmware was out and decided to upgrade to version 6. Now, at the time of recording, the back of the camera looked all fine and I couldn't see any problems with the focus. However, upon editing this video, I can see a fair amount of pulsing in a lot of the clips that, for me, sadly do take away from the atmosphere a little bit. And hopefully the more people that bring this to light, Fuji will decide to release a fixed firmware, hopefully very soon. This concludes my overview of some of my favourite photos captured on my X-PRO3 and photo and videos captured on my X-H2S whilst on holiday in the Dominican Republic. 2024 was a year that I decided to switch over to Fujifilm for all my photography needs as well as my travel filmmaking, and I couldn't be happier with the results. I recently decided to pick up a GFX 50R for that sweet digital medium format photography, and I can't wait to create a video soon showcasing my first moments with the camera, as well as a portrait shoot that I've got planned. As with all YouTube videos, if you've made it this far, thank you for taking the time to watch me showcase my work. I hope you enjoyed the photos and videos and maybe gained some inspiration to take some of your own photos and videos on your next holiday with whatever camera you have. If you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on some great new videos coming soon. And if you want to see more Fujifilm content, be sure to hit that like button. Thanks for watching, and I'll hopefully catch you in the next video.